This lesson begins Chapter 5, which we have broken into two parts, partially because of the trimester break, partially because of winter break coming up, and also because of the length of it, as well as how the content splits up. And we will be doing two tests this chapter, and the first one will be just into the start of second trimester. This first lesson is actually 100% review for us in that we have seen quadratic functions before, and in section 1.9 we dealt with the transformations of quadratic functions. Now, to refresh your memory, a quadratic function is a second degree equation whose graph is a parabola, which can be written in vertex, factored, or standard form. Standard form is where f of x is equal to a times x squared plus b times x plus c, where a, b, and c are real numbers. Factored form is where f of x is equal to a times the quantity x minus c times the quantity x minus d, where a, c, and d are real numbers. And vertex form is where f of x is equal to a times the quantity x minus h squared plus k, which should start looking familiar because that's kind of how our equations take form when we deal with transformations. And that's where a, h, and k are equal to real numbers. So before we move into the transformations piece, let's take a look at the parent function for f of x equal to x squared. If you recall, if we square our x's, negative 2 squared gives me 4, negative 1 squared 1, 0 squared 0, 1 squared 1, and 2 squared 4. So if I go ahead and graph those, I have negative 2, 4, negative 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, and 2, 4. So when I connect these dots, I get something that is a cross between a U and a V shape. And when I look at the domain and range, the domain, the x values, it keeps getting wider, so these are all real numbers. And the range is going to have a bottoming out point because that is what we call our vertex. We'll label that our vertex. And our range, because it has that bottoming out point, has a y value that is greater than or equal to 0.